Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Voodoo Garden. My name is Ray. That's me. And I will be your host. I have some really cool things to bring to you. And I'm sorry for not being here for 2 weeks, but like I like to say, I only film when I have something worth filming. So sometimes it may be a couple weeks, sometimes it may be twice a week. Depends on what I have to film. I don't like to bring you just random episodes of the same old stuff because it's boring for me. I know it's got to be boring for you, but today's episode is not boring. And by the way, I will be having another episode on the Voodoo Garden because I'm only going to do the upstairs stuff. I feel like one of those people that are showing you a prize. But I only have the upstairs Voodoo Garden for you today. Next time, in about a week or less, yes, a week or less, I'm going to take you downstairs to the downstairs Voodoo Garden. I have 2 Voodoo Gardens. And I'm going to show you some amazing growth that's going on down there. It's just beyond what you've ever seen in the Voodoo Garden. Trust me, you have seen some really strange stuff up here. But take a look at this. Really, take a look at this. These are identical twins, and they couldn't look any different if they tried. I planted these at the exact same time. They were grown in the exact same conditions, exact same size pots. Just a few days ago I transplanted this, so it really hasn't gotten any growth since then. But remember this one I was showing you, it had leaf problems and stuff? Well, the leaf problems are gone. They are gone in a big way. It's actually started getting a lot more growth in the center, and the leaves have greened up nicely. Turns out I believe it was a pH issue and a magnesium issue and something else. Boy, it had problems. Yeah, this thing had more problems than I used to have. But anyway, it's healthy, it's happy. But the reason I'm bringing the twins up is because I wanted to show you something, and it's something I've gone over a million times, but not with coffee trees. This one was having problems and it was looking like crap, so I pruned it off. Yes, I pruned it off, and it sent out some really nice long branches. These aren't just leaf branches, these are growing tips. So I don't know what's going to happen here. I think they're just going to go out like that. But it also put out some nice growing tips from up here. This one I never did anything to. I just let it grow naturally any way it wanted to grow. So this is what a coffee tree in my Voodoo Garden looks like when it grows naturally. Not a bad looking tree, nothing spectacular, nothing bad, but I'm going to show you an up-close view of this, the stems on both of these, because it's something that I preach like mad about pruning your plants. You don't have to, but there are benefits and there are things that are not so good about pruning. If you want a tall plant right off the bat, pruning is not so good because it slows the growth for a little while so that it can recharge and send it out in other avenues. But if you want a sturdy plant, pruning is definitely the way to go. Here's my demo. Take a look at this. Here, ready? Okay. See how that waves in when you push it like that? Not bad, but it has a lot of sway in it, doesn't it? Okay. Now take a look at the exact same tree. There's really no sway, you see? It just, like that. And that is a good thing if you're looking for really heavy yields. Ooh, don't drop it, Ray. If you're looking for a plant to give you really heavy yields and to be very sturdy, like my pepper plants, tomato plants, things like that, I definitely go with the pruning. But, for a coffee tree, I really don't know what to expect because I've never grown these before. But this is the difference between pruning and non-pruning. And I'm going to give you a close-up of those. But before I do that, here is a nice shot of the unpruned. It looks really good. It is a nice, healthy tree. Let me pan up nice and jerky for you because you know me, I suck at this, but it's a beautiful tree. Coffee trees are really fun to grow inside. You can grow them outside if you have a nice environment, but in Minnesota, it's like death for any plant outside. So they do grow really good, and I wanted to show you something. With coffee trees, they don't just put out stems with leaves, they put out actual growing tips. Yes, so the leaves will grow on stems that come out, so not really a whole heck of a lot of leaves grow on the stem itself, the main stem. They come out on the growing stems. Kind of weird, huh? Now, let's just pan over, nice and smooth. Oh, look at me go. I'm getting better at this. And down we go. The stem on this is so much thicker, so much stronger, And I'm very, very happy with that. I gotta say, this is a beautiful tree. And I'm gonna lift you up and put you right over on top of this. So hold on, here we go. This is what it looks like from above. This is the view I have. Is that beautiful or what? It has a nice splay of leaves that come out, or branches with leaves, all around it like a star. And then on the inside, it has new growth. God knows what's going to happen here. I don't know. But I'll keep you updated on it, and I sure hope eventually, I sure hope eventually it does produce coffee beans. That will be nice, and I will definitely show you. You'll be the second person to know. I'll be the first, you'll be the second. While I have you up close, take a look at this. What do you think of this? This, I believe, is a Christmas cactus. Very, very similar to a Christmas cactus if it's not an actual Christmas cactus. I've shown you mine before, and normally Christmas cactuses come with pink or red flowers. And now look at the leaf structure on this. They're flat, they're joined together. Looks just like a Christmas cactus, doesn't it? Well, I found this at Walmart, and they're, of course, you know, they're selling everything for Mother's Day, and my mom lives a couple states away, so I'm not sending her any plants. So I snagged this for myself. Yes, I bought myself a Mother's Day gift, and look at this. They look like little daisies or something like that. Is that cool or what? Yeah, I've been trying to pollinate these babies ever since I got it, because I definitely would like to have seeds from this, but I don't know. I don't see any pollen coming off of them. But I wanted to show you this because I've never seen a Christmas cactus with this type of flower on it. It's beautiful. Multiple flowers on each one. And I'm going to grow this in this pot and eventually transplant it. By the way, it came in a real itty bitty pot. It was so sad. I transplanted it into my regular potting mix. I have it up in my grow room, and I'm going to show you this from start into infinity, because the Christmas cactus that I got that's really huge, the one that everybody loves, it started out this small with just a few cuttings. I put it in there and I grew it, and so I'm going to show you this as it goes and show you the transplanting process and see what comes of this. But I wanted to bring this to your attention because it's a new addition to the Voodoo Garden, and I think it's pretty happy to be here. It lost a couple flowers, but the rest of them are doing just fine. To the left of the coffee trees, I wanted to show you this with a moving camera because it doesn't look as good from way, way back. This is my Baobab tree. This, I believe, is one of the fattest trees on earth when it's full grown. You should go to Google and type in Baobab tree. And they are hilarious. They are like something out of a cartoon. This doesn't look like much, but it's a young one. I got this as, I believe, an 8-inch tall sprout. But I've been cutting off the leaves as it goes. That's why you see all these little green things here. It was full of leaves. And if we go way down here, take a look at how the trunk is starting to get a little bulbous at the base. Yep. These trees are known for having these just ridiculous fat trunks and a little display of leaves on top, and it's loving it inside. It's I believe an African tree, and it grows in hot weather, but it likes it up here because it's about 85 to 90 degrees all the time. It's putting out side branches, and of course it attracts the whiteflies, but it doesn't seem to mind them. Yeah, it just grows right through them. Good for you. On the other side of the coffee trees, does anybody know what this is? Yep, it's a peach tree. I got this as a dead little stick, well, actually a dormant little stick, and I tossed it into the soil. Look at this thing go. That's definitely a peach tree, and it's a Georgia peach tree, a Dwarf Georgia peach tree, and I'm growing it indoors. Let this be a lesson to you. Don't let anybody tell you what you can and cannot do. Always, always, always try what you want to grow. This is a Georgia peach, and of course it's sending out new stuff from the bottom. I've been trimming the leaves off of it as it goes. It has a lot of side branches. I have no idea what this thing is going to do, but it would be amazing if I got peaches to grow inside, wouldn't it? Yeah, it'd be pretty cool. And along with my peaches, right behind that, is a perennial that I've had here for quite a long time. This is a lemon tree, a common lemon that I grew from seed. Yes, I had a lemon and I decided to grow a seed, and voila! In 2011, I planted a seed, and look at how nice this thing has grown. Let me put my finger up next to it. This is how, ow, yeah, it's got thorns on it. Extremely sturdy. I've been pruning this thing off like mad throughout the years. And let's go up. Of course, it has new growth coming out all over the place. It always goes through these phases where it puts out a lot of new growth, then it stops. And you don't know why it stops. But, if you're smart, you don't question why a plant does what it does. They all have different growing patterns. So right now it's going through a growth phase. Eventually it'll go through a rest phase. And as far as pruning them, I have no idea. As far as growing them, I know that they really need a lot of room for the roots. So I have this in I think it's a 5-gallon or 4-gallon pot. And I water it, let the soil dry out, but not too much. They don't like dry soil. Let it dry out until it's just barely damp, moist, dry, I don't know what to call it. And then I give it a good dose of water, mild organic fertilizer, and that's all I do. That's actually my watering system for all of my plants. Yes, all of them get the exact same thing. All right, let's speed along to the other side of the grow room and let me show you what's been going on up here. Real quickly, let's do this real fast. The pineapple. This is not my original pineapple. This is the child of the original pineapple. Yep, this is the top. And it's about maybe 3 feet tall and, about 4 feet across. And nothing special about it except I trimmed the bottom leaves because they were just all over the place and I kept stepping on the poor thing. So, pineapple. I recently transplanted my miracle fruit. It's a big old honking pot, but this thing took forever to get started. But let me tell you something, once you get them going, you can't stop them. This thing is huge. And if you're ever going to grow one of these, they do appreciate acidic soil. So every now and then dump a cup of cold coffee in there and they will love you for it. Right next. You remember this? This is the dragon fruit. Yeah, I told you I was going to get rid of it. Yeah, I slid this thing over into my bedroom because it was cold outside, it was winter, and I was going to throw it out, but I didn't really feel like dealing with it, so it stayed alive. And so I dragged it back into the grow room because I felt sorry for the poor thing, it was starving. And what I decided to do is take cuttings off of this. Yeah, I thought, well, you can take cuttings off of it. It has what's called aerial roots. See these roots up here? And I did a demonstration where you could take a cutting, about maybe a foot long, have a couple roots, and then lay it horizontal on the soil, and the roots actually start growing. Yep, it did that. I did another experiment, and take a look at it. I took the growing tips of both sides of the dragon fruit. I cut about a 2-foot long section and buried it. This is in a very huge, deep pot, about maybe 3 gallons. And when I planted these, they were just these itty bitty tops coming above the soil. And they're doing extremely well. And not more than a month ago, I took another cutting and I jammed that in there, and take a look at the new shoots coming out. So with a dragon fruit the size of the one I just showed you, you can get, I don't know, a dozen cuttings off of that. Yeah, you can get tons and tons of them. And I'm going to let these things grow in this pot and eventually support them up a trellis in the grow room and see if I can get me some dragon fruit. Oh, let me give you a quick shot of this. Nothing extraordinary. These are the children of the large aloe that I had growing here in the corner. It just got so big it fell down. Yeah, it just fell down, the big stupid. And so I took it out, threw it away, and I kept the babies. So I have twins growing in there. And when you start aloes, they look two-dimensional. You know, you can see the leaves growing that way and this way, but they don't grow in all 4 directions. Give it some time. Eventually it will. You just got to keep turning the plant so it faces the light, like one day this way, one day the other way, and they will come out in all different directions. Here's something you haven't seen in a while. This is called a rose apple. Yes, somebody a while back, I think a year or so ago, sent me rose apple seeds. Well, if you're the one that sent me the rose apple seeds, here is the rose apple growing, and I prune off the lower branches as it grows because they just get all ugly looking. Take a look at that. Ugly. But the new ones come out beautiful. And it's extremely healthy. This is the way it grows. And it's doing really good. Remember the dwarf pomegranate that was so beautiful, then so ugly, and then so beautiful? Well, it died. It died again. Yeah, this thing's been through death twice now. So what I did was I chopped it back. Yeah, I cut it back to a little tiny stem. Check out all the whiteflies that come out of it. Yeah, you little buggers. And it grows back. So this is all the new growth. And this is the child of that plant. I grew this from a seed from one of the pomegranates that it produced. Yep. So I have mother and child. Right next to mother and child, this is called a Buddha hand. And I showed you what a Buddha hand fruit looks like. It looks like a lemon that went through the twilight zone. Really bizarre. I ordered some seeds and only one of them germinated, but boy did it grow. Isn't that a beauty? Yep, that is what's called a Buddha hand. And this ugly, oh, I don't even like this thing. You know, there are a few plants that I could actually say I don't like, and let me tell you, this is one. This is a poster child for what I don't like. This is a cashew. I ordered some cashews and I grew them and all the plants died except for one. They keep getting these weird brown spots and it's not a fungus. I treated it for that. I have no idea. I've gone through heck and high water trying to grow this thing. The more I try, the worse it gets. So I just gave up. I figured, yeah, you want to die? Fine. I'll let you die. So, yeah, eventually that thing's going into the garbage. I don't like you. And a friend on Facebook sent me magnolia seeds. I never grew a magnolia, and of course you can't grow them in Minnesota. And I have two of these. Yes, I have two magnolias that are growing from seeds. So thank you. I am growing magnolias. I don't know what I'm going to do with a magnolia tree in my house, but up here it's doing really nice. This really doesn't look that remarkable, but the name is strange. This is called a banana shrub. Yeah, not a banana tree or a banana plant. It's called a banana shrub, and I think it's only because the new leaves that come out look like little mini bananas, but they're not fruit. It's just a leaf cluster. You know, I thought it was something kind of different, but look what it's doing. It has this, it looks like a flower. I don't know if that's a flower or a tumor or I don't know what that thing is, but if it's a flower and it blooms, I'll definitely put it on the next episode and let you see what it looks like. I didn't think that this thing would ever bloom. It started to look like crap for a while and then it came back from the dead, got its mind right, and it's doing fantastic in here. I really do like it. We have some baby chrysanthemums. I like chrysanthemums, but I've never had luck growing them until now. I don't know, this is my year for growing stuff. Everything seems to be coming up roses, except the chrysanthemums. And this is the vanilla. Remember I got that little tiny vanilla stem stick looking thing? Yep. It grew and it grew and I had to put a stick in there and it grew too tall. So I snipped off about a foot of it, no actually about 8 inches, and I laid it flat in this pot, going from left to right underneath the soil about 1 inch is all stem, and then there was this little teeny tiny bud coming out and it took root. You can do this with vanilla apparently. You know those aerial roots that it puts out, these little weird looking things? Well, apparently those will turn into regular roots when you lay it down into the soil. I had no idea. Now I do. So there's a tip for you. If you got vanilla that's getting too tall, snip some off and shove it in the dirt. I was growing an avocado for the longest time and then it died. Big stupid. Yeah, it died. I don't know why. I think it was the spider mite attack of last year. Boy, we had a real bad wave. And just recently I planted this and I see so many friends on Facebook showing their avocado trees and they got these real tall stems and mine is like this little midget, you know? Everything in my life is small. I'm short, my plants are short. Yep, this is my little avocado tree. It has really nice leaves. It's very healthy, but yeah, it's a little itty bitty thing. I don't know why it's that short, but I'm not going to argue with it. Right next to the avocado, this is called a Spanish lime tree. I know nothing about it. I don't know if it's a real lime. I don't know what's going on. All I know is, yeah, this is what it looks like. Somebody sent me some seeds, and I planted it, and there you go. Spanish lime. Last on today's tour is, what are you? Cedra lemon. This is in a, I believe, an 8-inch pot or 10-inch pot, and the plant is about 1 foot tall. I wanted to show you this because here is its twin. I usually plant in twos, that way I always have a spare. This one is the exact same plant, exact same growing conditions, but I didn't transplant it. Yeah, I didn't transplant it at all. So let me show you what transplanting can do. Put them side by side. Take a look at the difference. Yeah, there is a difference. The one on the right is a lot healthier. Beautiful leaves on this thing. This is a side branch. It's putting out another side branch over here. Putting out some more over here. Cedra lemon. From what I understand, Cedra lemons are larger lemons than regular lemons. I may be wrong. If I'm wrong, let me know. But that's all I know about Cedra lemons. It's always nice up here. I come up here whenever I need to see some green and I can't get outside. Today is a beautiful day outside, but it's supposed to be 92 degrees. And being a northerner, 92 degrees is a death sentence for me. So I'm not going outside. I'm not going outside. I'm going to stay up here in the Voodoo Garden and just pretend it's a nice spring day. I'm such a wuss. But anyway, folks, thank you for joining me on a tour of the upstairs Voodoo Garden. And don't forget, next week I'm going to take you down the stairs very carefully so that we don't fall. And we're going to take a look at the downstairs grow room. There are some monsters down there. Not everything is small in the Voodoo Garden. A lot of the plants are tall and they just don't fit in this little tiny room. So, next week, downstairs, you meet in the Voodoo Garden downstairs. Okay, I gotta get going. I was gonna do this at the end of the video and I set it down too hard. Okay, well, secret's out. Anyway, thank you for joining me in the Voodoo Garden. This is Ray.